Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Kelly Sparks, aka Redbeard. Today will be the very first round of my 30 whiskey blind tasting. Actually, 30 bourbon. So, the Dirty 30 bourbon. And this is. That was it. So, I'm going to go ahead and read off the list of whiskeys that I have. I've got them written down. Add this into my spreadsheet that I will attach in the link to below in the description in the Google document. I'll put all of these in there so everybody can kind of see and track the progress of the blind tasting. So, in no particular order, and these were all poured at random, and they range from $15 bottles up to $115 bottles. And these are all bourbon, all 30 of them bourbon whiskey. So, first off, we have Black Feather, Jim Beam Single Barrel, Old Ezra 101, 7-year, Herman Marshall Texas Bourbon, 1792 Full Proof, Woodford Reserve Cherry Wood Smoked Barley. So that's one of the more expensive ones. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C917. I think that's the one that won Whiskey of the Year last year. Bourbon of the Year. Rowan's Creek. Rowan's Creek. Jefferson's French Oak Cask Reserve. That's another expensive one. Noah's Mill. Evan Williams Single Barrel. Devil's River Texas Bourbon. Fistful of Bourbon, which is a blended bourbon. 1792 Bottled and Bond. 1835 Single Barrel, which is another Texas bourbon. Bibb and Tucker Small Batch. Booker's 2018-01 Kathleen's Batch. Belle Meade Madeira Cask Bourbon. Elijah Craig 12-year, one of the older bottlings. Boondocks 8-year-old bourbon finished in port barrels. So that's a fairly new one. It's a new label. TX bourbon. Breaker wheated bourbon. That's a new one. That's a new label. Bullet barrel strength. Angel's Envy. Pure Kentucky straight bourbon. Giant small batch bourbon. That's another Texas bourbon. It's another new label. James E. Pepper 1776 bourbon. Russell's Reserve 10-year. And Henry McKenna 10-year Bottled and Bond. So I've got a few in here. Two of them for sure. The Elijah Craig Barrel Proof and the Henry McKenna 10-year have both been picked. Someone has picked them Bourbon of the Year a couple times. So it's going to be interesting to see what makes it to the top 3, because I'm planning on doing 3 per episode, and then that'll give me 10, and then I'll do 3, 3, and 4. Then that'll give me the top 3, and then I'll run through those. So stay tuned. It's going to be fun. I'm going to go ahead and get started with this one. I'm going to make notes as I go. So this might be somewhat of a long video just because of all that. So I'm just going to ride round 1, and we're going to get into it. We got the 3 set up here, and I'm going to go just quick overall view so I don't make this into a 20-minute video each time. Ooh, that one smells good. That one smells pretty good too. This one doesn't have much of a nose to it. If I had to pick a winner just on nose alone, I'd probably go with number 1. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. That one's got that. I'm going to try and see if I can't pick it out, because I know what's in there, but out of 30 bourbons, I'm not going to be able to get all of them. I might get one or two, honestly. Just going to leave that off. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna just take a quick little peek at each one of them. They all taste familiar. I mean, of course, I've had all of them, but they're all my bourbons. So after the first sip, honestly, the third one, it didn't have quite the nose, but on the palate, which is what counts, I enjoyed it the most. So I'm going to take a little bit bigger pull, work through my process, and then try it again. I'm not, I like it, but it's just holding it on the palate longer. I just got this weird funky note to it. I don't know. Not a fan of that one. I mean, it's a good whiskey. Don't get me wrong. None of these are terrible in their own right, but I think I might pick that one last. I'm gonna go with this one first or next. Yeah, that one's not a fan. That's got a funky finish to it. Weak body. The nose was excellent in the beginning. It fizzled really quick and finished odd. So I'm gonna go just of this first little. Let me cleanse my palate. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to go first, second, third. The nose on this one wasn't quite there, and maybe I could have let them open up a little bit more. But on the palate, this third one over here was the most enjoyable. So what I'll end up doing, I'll probably make this a very long series. So I'll get my first place, but I'll probably run back through second and third place finishes offline and pick like a number one out of those groups to have a chance at the very end as well. And we'll see what happens. Yeah. I'm going to go with number 3. So, last place. Let's figure out what we got here. We have TX Bourbon. You know what? I wasn't a fan of this the first time I had it. I had it for a Texas whiskey tasting that I hosted at my house. And I didn't like it then. I didn't care for it now. It's just, It finishes quickly, and it's just there's a bad flavor on the end. All right, second place. Witherspoon, another Texas bourbon. Huh? No, I forget to write down Witherspoon. I think I forgot to write this one down. Yeah, I forgot to write down Witherspoon bourbon. Yeah. Oh well. Clerical error. So Witherspoon bourbon. That's another Texas bourbon. Uh, they both finished rather quickly, and I just, I mean, I've done reviews on at least the Witherspoon, I believe. Maybe I don't remember. I'd have to go back. I'm up to probably 115 videos now. So, all right. Last but not least, our winner. I think it's funny that I've got two Texas bourbons in the first taste off. Old Ezra 101, 7-year. Nice. So, that's round one. Many to come. I think what I'm going to do is I've got a little bit left over in each of these. I'm going to go ahead and start an infinity bottle and do a 30 bourbon mix and see what that tastes like at the end. These will all be unknown measurements, but it's fun to do. So stay tuned. I'm going to finish up the Buffalo Trace tasting, and I'll throw in some cigars and some Scotch and some Irish whenever available. And we'll just have fun doing it. So stay tuned. Like always, check out the Bearded Idiots podcast. Check them out. They're on Instagram at Bearded Idiots podcast. I'm Son of Thor 3 on Instagram if you need to speak to me personally. If you got any feedback, let me know. I enjoy it. I entertain most feedback. So, but like always, drink some whiskey, share it with your friends and family, and have a nice day. Thanks.